Shooting 33 rounds in the Glock 19, in this case, the Copper Customs Glock 19, sure is an awful lot of fun. But man, have you ever wished that you could do the same thing with, say, 40 caliber or 45 caliber, maybe a Glock 35, Glock 41? Think how much fun that would be. Well, guess what? Now you can. So here's a product I hadn't seen before. I just saw it in my favorite gun store yesterday, and I picked up a couple. SGM Tactical Fun Sticks in 40 and 45 for your Glocks. So how about we run, let's see, this is the 40 Smith & Wesson, and it holds, I think, 31. I've got it loaded to an even number of 30 because, you know, I've got that OCD thing. How about we run 30 rounds through my well-tuned Glock 35. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is IDPA legal, right? I haven't shot my Glock 41 in longer than I'd like to admit. This is an excellent opportunity and a great excuse to get this fantastic firearm out and put some serious fun through it. 25 rounds is what I've got loaded in here. I think it says it'll hold 26. I'll clarify that or correct that if that's wrong. Yeah, baby. Ruh-roh. Well, that was anticlimactic. Let's try that again. Okay. Wah, wah, wah. So far this magazine has reduced my Glock 41 to being a single shot. I think that's a step in the wrong direction. See if we can get this thing going. Damn, it's not feeding. It is just not, it's not stripping around. It is not stripping around from the mag and feeding it. All right, works okay there. I don't know, we've got a spring issue or a follower issue or something here. Nope. Boy, you know, I'd like to get 2 shots in a row, but so far it's the same thing every single time. It is not stripping or feeding around. Well, it tried to that time. All right, tell you what I'm going to do. Bear with me. I'm going to shut the cameras off. I'm going to take the rounds out of that magazine. I'm going to put them in the regular magazine for the Glock 41, and I'll show you that it's not the ammo. Okay, I stripped 11 rounds out of that fun stick, which actually turns out to not be so fun. I stripped 11 rounds out. I've put it in the regular Glock magazine, 13 round magazine that made for the Glock 41, Glock 21. And I'm gonna try that. All right, well, it fed. That was just a maybe a light primer strike. Okay. So I had one, looks like one ammo error. Let me check that round out. That was just a primer strike issue. These are my personal loads, so now sometimes magazines can have problems with their springs and their followers when they're loaded all the way up to their capacity. So this one is downloaded now to having just it looks like maybe 8 from the witness holes. So let's see if it'll function with less pressure on the spring. Almost. We got 2 in a row. That is 100% increase, but well, it is still not wanting to feed. And that round is, you're not going to be able to see this too well, but that round is crooked coming up the ramp. It's definitely not headed for success. All right, let's see if we can clear this mag out. It's going to take a while. At this rate. Still a couple more in there, and I am determined. Maybe limp wristing will actually help in this case. All right. Man, that was quite a volley, wasn't it? It was what, 3 or 4 in a row? All right, I got one straggler here. Try him again. So, the 45 magazine, which was the one I kinda wanted to really enjoy the most, although I will get some good use out of the 40 caliber mag. I don't know, this one looks like it might have some issues. I did not bring a lot of different kinds of ammo with me today, so I'm not going to be able to test for that variable. However, might try a few more, see what happens. Let's try it again. I've only got 10 loaded in it. Damn. Yeah. I think I'm going to call it on this one. It's just not feeding. You know, it's one thing to have an ammo related issue like a light primer strike or something that I had a couple of with the stock magazine, but this magazine is just not feeding, and I'll have to go and analyze the angle of the follower and tension of the spring. Actually feels very loose. I'm wondering if that's maybe not part of the problem. It may not be pushing the rounds up with enough force to get them started at the right angle. Because I did notice when I was loading it that it was surprisingly easy to get all the rounds in there. So maybe it needs a tighter spring. But I'm not going to try and make too much of an assessment or judgment on that today. because it's hot out here at the range and I'm not ready to do that. So SGM Tactical looks like a bit of a failure so far with the 45 ACP Glock magazine. The 40 Smith & Wesson magazine was flawless. Okay, I like to leave things on a positive note if I can, so I'm going to go back to the 40 Smith & Wesson. This is the SGM Tactical. 31 rounds is the designated capacity. I loaded it to 30 again because I like my round numbers, but I will tell you, I just loading this, I could tell as I got into that last half a dozen rounds, the spring got a whole lot tighter than it did on that 45 ACP magazine when I was loading the last rounds in it. So I think they might want to revisit the engineering on that spring. First magazine full of 40 ran flawlessly. Let's see if we can follow up with the same kind of performance. End this on a happy note, but I'll tell you, I'm not going to give up on this. SGM Tactical, I applaud the the willingness to get out there and make these magazines. I want them to work because they could be a whole lot of fun. So I might try to contact them about that other magazine, see what can be worked out. 30 rounds of 40 Smith & Wesson through the Glock 35. And that, boys and girls, is how that's supposed to work. Well, I'll tell you, doing all that shooting took a bit of a toll on me on this hot day, but it really took a toll on this guy. Okay folks, about a week has gone by. I am back out here at the range because I just didn't want to leave things the way they were, if I can help it. We'll see if the outcome is a little different today. I'm going to try some things that are a little bit different. Again, I'm going to still try and get this 45 caliber 26 round magazine to work, but I'm going to start out with 9 rounds in the Glock 30S. It's regular magazine. This is Winchester White Box. I've got a few different brands. I've got Winchester White Box. I've got some Remington UMC that I think a lot of, and I've got some Freedom Munitions, all 230 grain hardball, 45 ACP, factory loads. I'm going to try them, see how that magazine performs. But just to make sure that the ammo and the gun are running like we expect them to be, and why shouldn't they, I'm going to try 9 rounds in the Glock magazine. All right, that is what we expect from a Glock. The SGM Tactical. I don't know what SGM stands for, and I have a hard time remembering it. So what I'm starting to train myself to say is the Simulated Glock magazine. I don't know. All right, let's see if we can get it to run with Winchester White Box. And the answer would be no. So, different gun, different ammo. Let me take my ears out here for a second so I'm not screaming at you. And let's see if I can turn this camera around so that I've got sunlight in the gun here where you can maybe see this. But it is, hold on, let me see, there we go. That round is nose diving like crazy. I mean, it is pointed, it's pointed down 30 degrees. It's the wrong direction to try and get up that ramp. Hard to see, I'm trying to get the sun in there so you can see that. All right. try and clear this and move on if we can. If not, it's going to be a short range trip, which is okay because it's about 100 degrees out here. But the good news is it's humid. Now let's see. Nope. We've seen that happen before, haven't we, boys and girls? It will not strip around, it will not feed it. And when it does try, it sends them nosediving. So, different gun, different ammo. Not that I suspected the Glock 41 by any means, but nope. Okay, so the process, if you want to use one of these magazines from SGM, the Sucky Glock magazine, the process is chamber around, fire a shot, have a dead click, chamber another round. Or you could maybe just stick to your Glock magazines. Yeah. I think I did at one point manage to have a couple rounds in a row fire, but that is the exception, not the norm. Okay. As fun as this is, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go put some different some different ammo, just so we can eliminate variables. I'm going to go put some different ammo in this magazine and we'll try it again. Okay, I've got Remington UMC loaded up in our not so fun stick. Just 10 rounds because I have no expectation of success, and that'll be fewer that I have to strip out by hand. It always feeds that first round perfectly fine when you manually run the slide. I'm also, just for discussion purposes here, I'm also trying to be very careful to not put hand pressure on the magazine. I don't want to be canting the magazine one way or another, although, you know, that's part of it. So if you're going to make this magazine, it's got to be able to work that way. But just to be extra nice, I'm trying to put all my grip pressure on the pistol itself, not on the magazine. Of course, with the Glock 41, that was 100% a non-issue. So let's see how far we get with Remington. Oh, about the same. Should I just assume that it didn't chamber around? I think so. Oh. Okay. Well, we actually had a few go, and it looks like it was just at the tail end. Maybe the last 4 or 5, because I actually shucked out a live round. Maybe if I try loading 5 at a time, we'll see what happens. Let's try that. Okay, just 5 rounds loaded in this magazine. Let's see if I can get all 5 of them off. Okay, maybe we're onto something. So it looks like the spring and the follower can handle 5. Let's see if they can handle 6. Okay, let's get brave. 6 rounds loaded in the magazine. Okay. Who thinks we ought to get real frisky and go for, say, 8 rounds? Okay, let's try it. 8 rounds now. So I think the lowest I ever went was like 10 before, so starting with 8 rounds in the magazine. Glock 30's. Okay, made it with 8. I'm going to try going back up to 10. Let's see what happens. Okay, 10 rounds now. We tried this just a minute ago, and it did not work. Let's try it again. That's the magazine we know. Nosedive. Got a submarine round in there. She is diving. So somewhere between 8 and 10 rounds, or somewhere at 10 rounds, this magazine fails. Which for a 26 round magazine is, I don't know, not a good thing, I'm thinking. So let me try something. So I got 9 rounds left in here. Let me load it fresh. I made sure my round is well seated in the magazine. Let's try it again. Fresh with 9. See if it'll run. Nope. Made it a little further. It tried to go up the ramp this time. No, it's not having it. So, now, see. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Let me holster this gun for a second. So as I could use both of my hands, I'm going to put this round back in the magazine. Man, I tell you, there's really no tension at all to that spring. And I found that to be true even when you get down to almost fully loaded. So I really think that's probably the root problem. But hey, I will tell you right now, I am not qualified to know that. But I am qualified to observe. And I will draw conclusions. All right, so I've got 8. We started with 8 and had success. Let's see if we can start with 8 this time and have some success. No, hell no. So, all right. Same thing. It's just not going to feed properly. Yeah. All right. In the interest of the scientific method, I'm going to go ahead and load up some Freedom munitions, and we'll try it with that. Okay, here is just 5 rounds of Freedom munitions, 230 grain ball. See if we can duplicate our success that we had before. Okay. I did notice previously that it didn't lock the slide back. It also did not lock the slide back on that last round either. So add that to the list of things it doesn't quite do. That was 5 rounds. Let's try our luck. I do kind of like this, sort of like, and the state fair here in Delaware is in session right now, so it's kind of like a treat you might get at the fair. I'd like one of those Glock on the sticks, please. Okay, we got 5 to work again of the Freedom munitions. I've loaded up 10 of the Freedom munitions. Place your bets. Okay, who had fail? You win. Good call. Okay. Well, I think that, hold on, let me holster. I think I have had about all the fun there is to be had with this magazine. SGM Tactical. Not a good magazine. No good. Now the 40 Smith & Wesson was perfect. I didn't have any problems at all. The 45, which is the one of the two, of course, that I really wanted, nope. But I refuse to go home all pouty and whiny, so I've put the last 9 rounds of Remington UMC and 1 round to top it off and make it an even 10 of Winchester White Box in my Glock magazine, 10 rounder for the Glock 30S. Let's finish up with 10 rounds in a magazine that'll feed them, and then let's get out of here. Well, there we go. It ain't the gun, it ain't the ammo, it is definitely that magazine. So I might keep you posted if there's any news or any progress. I'm going to probably see if I can reach out to these guys that made this and see if they'll take it back. But I'll let you know if there's anything to report. But as of right now, for the SGM Tactical magazines, 40 Smith & Wesson seems okay. 45? No. Unless you're looking for a 5-round or maybe a 6-round magazine that takes up 4 times that much room, then no.